and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and today I have the Beads to Live By curated collections, which are their monthly subscriptions, to share with you all. I have, of course, their size 11 seed bead subscription and the buttons collection as well. And before we get into those, though, I want to mention something brand new that they have that they are going to be launching starting tomorrow, December 18th. So if you see this video today, the 17th, please know that this next selection is going to show as sold out until the 18th. But beginning tomorrow, they are going to be launching a new beading subscription to add to these other two, and it is going to be for 2-hole beads. Similar to their other subscriptions, with this one, at a cost of $17.99 per month, you'll receive 5 strands of 2-hole beads, just like the ones you see down below. So they're going to include the following 5 types. You're going to have a selection of the 2-hole check glass tile beads, such as the ones you see here. And keep in mind, these colors are just examples, and this is just a way for me to show you what you'll be receiving. So this is a strand worth of the 2-hole check glass tiles. Also, some of these 2-hole check glass lentil beads, which are these flat discs with the 2 holes that you can see going through the face of the beads. And I just love this color combination with all those greens and purples. And these beads did come directly from Beads to Live by the way, so these are samples directly from them, just like the ones that they would provide to new subscribers of this type of club. You'll also be receiving the pyramid stud beads, just like these, with that flat base and that more pointed pyramid-shaped top. Also the 2-hole dagger beads, just like these. Aren't these awesome, with the matte finish and that oil slick-like color combination over top of the teal? And you can see these are the 2-hole variety of daggers. And you'll also receive a selection of silky beads, so very similar to the tiles, but they are set in a different way where the holes are actually going up and down through either side at an angle, so they sit more like a diamond as opposed to a square. So those are the 5 types of 2-hole beads you would get every month in a coordinated color scheme. And by the way, they have planned it so they are going to coordinate with their other beading subscriptions. So they will be in a palette that goes along with the seed beads, for example, for that month, which I think is pretty great. And also, if you sign up for a longer period of time, you'll get more of a discount. So $17.99, that's already about a 20% off discount from the retail cost of these beads. But if you signed up for, say, 3 months or 6 months, there's an additional percentage off you'll get by signing up for the longer length of time. So all those details will be found, of course, on their website. And I'm pretty excited to share that brand new launch of what they're offering with you all. I've really been enjoying the seed beads and the buttons so far, and I think this is a great complement. In addition to that, as I've mentioned before, they also do a monthly selection of coordinating check glass fire polish and pressed glass beads. And you can pick those up separately as you'd like to. They also coordinate with the theme of that month's particular subscription, so it's a great way to round out what you receive and kind of bulk up those seed beads and give you even more to play around with. So you can check right down below the video in the description section for the links to these particular subscriptions. And by signing up starting on the 18th, you would receive the next month's collections of items. So now, as normal, let's go ahead and open up the seed bead subscription to take a look at those 8 bags worth of contents that we have. If you sign up to that option, you're going to receive all size 11 seed beads, which coordinate in a palette that they've put together. It says that this month is going to be probably their most monochromatic set of colors that they will probably release. So usually we see more color. I have no idea what it looks like yet, but I have found that their seed bead offerings are great quality and often include brands like Miyuki. The bags, of course, are not labeled, but once that month's selection is revealed on their website, you can find the list of the specific codes that go along with these colors. So if you need to order more from them or want to know exactly what you received, you can find that information on their website. So let's go ahead and get into this. And I am loving this. It's a perfect wintry blue and evening nighttime sky set of colors that we are in store for. So as usual, I am going to take these out of their bags so we can look at all of these selections up close. I actually love this color palette, so I don't mind it being monochromatic at all or ever really, because I think having the different finishes, tones, and shades like this, even if they're in the same family, they make for great complements and design options, especially if using them together. So looking up close, first you can see this lovely cobalt blue frosty matte shade. It's also slightly transparent. And like I was saying before, you can tell by looking at these seed beads up close how uniform they are, so they do make great options that I would recommend for bead weaving or more precision work. Next up is this very light sort of periwinkle or pastel blue. It's another more frosty looking shade. It doesn't have that high glossy shine, and it adds a lighter tone to our palette. Third is this really interesting selection. It looks like it's got a teal colored glass that wraps around a purplish colored interior lining. So overall, you get this interesting play with the colors and something that could lean towards the blues or bluish greens and also a purplish tone at the same time. Next is another color lined option. It looks like it's got a deeper amethyst purple colored glass around the outside, and then the inside is lined with a lighter color. Looks like it might be a light blue. And overall, this one tends to look a little bit like a bluish gray if you're just looking at these from afar. And these look like they might be a really similar option like we just saw, except that they are in the matte finish. So they aren't letting the light through like the other ones were. They're more frosty, but you can still see that purplish tint to the glass on the outside and then the light blue lining. We also have this gorgeous bluish teal color with an iris or AB type of coating, giving us the iridescent rainbow of colors that we see in addition to that teal colored base. Our next selection is also one of those really cool color-lined options, this time with a deeper blue transparent glass, this one being pretty glossy, and we have a greenish colored lining, it looks like, so this one can kind of go either way. And our last selection, number 8, is similar to that, except it looks like it's got maybe a lighter blue glass over the lining, which appears to have a sort of mint green appearance. So those are our 8 lovely 11-0 round seed bead selections for this month. And each month you'll get 8 different bags containing 10 grams of seed beads just like this in a different palette. And now we'll take a look at the curated buttons collection for December. With this one you get 8 really unique vintage glass buttons, which you'd probably be hard-pressed to find elsewhere in these very specific shapes and color selections. So let's take a look at these. You can see how everything is wrapped up before I take these out. Everything in its own separate bag to keep them safe and sound. Alright, so if you choose to do the button subscription every month, you'll get a selection of 8 different ones of all different sizes and styles, and there are so many styles of these check glass buttons, some of them being pretty out there, I'll be honest. But that's sort of the appeal, you never know what you're going to get. You can use them for all sorts of different projects, not just in jewelry making, and some of them are real art pieces on their own. I'm going to go ahead and start out with this one. It is pretty out there, but it's got so much detail. It is a very large size, really interesting, and I'll be honest, not my particular style, but that's what makes things interesting. We don't all like the same things necessarily, and I think the world would be pretty boring if we did, but I could definitely see this piece used in the right way for the right type of beadwork or artwork, and I definitely appreciate the craftsmanship that went into this. So much press detail and the different colors that are bringing out these certain areas that are more raised or more inset. And here is a look at the back. You can see the metallic component in place. Just a very substantial piece. And like I said, really cool for the right person and the right application. And those personal sentiments would be going along with this one as well. But again, I really appreciate the craftsmanship in these vintage buttons. Here we have our insect friend. Lots of dimension on this button. It is another one of the larger ones that I have ever seen, with this crystal stone that is inset there, and all in this sort of light purple tone. There's a look at the back. Can't deny it's a really unique and cool selection, again, for the right person and the right application. Next up, we have some simpler buttons with more geometric detail coming up. This one I absolutely love. It actually looks really stunning too with the palette of seed beads that we have this month, and sort of reminds me of a snowflake-like design or a floral shape there in the center. There's a look at the back of that. Beautiful frosty sea glass looking color, and then you have that iridescence with the AB coating on top of the frosty glass. Here is another really classic style with the jet black opaque glass and those simple details. We've got some dotting and the line details there going in different directions with the shiny metallic wash and the button that is pressed into the glass. Here's another slightly more substantial one with that eye-catching array of metallics, blues and teals and purples showing up, and some other colors as well. Lots of detail with the certain pressed areas and other areas that are inset, and the metallic component on the back. And then we have 3 left. These are in smaller styles. This one's lovely with the purple and white striations and that rippling detail that we have in the glass and our buttonhole back there that is pressed right in. Next is this dainty, sort of iridescent looking butterfly, I'm thinking, with its simple design and a deep black opaque glass base with the shiny AB coating that pops off of that black background. And this is the 8th button that I received, another one with the beautiful metallic shine and eye-catching iridescence. Got a light purple color in the background with the pressed in hole, and then that shine that you see on the top really showing off the details. And that wraps it up for the selection of buttons, which is a great example of the types of things you could receive. Again, they're all so different, so you just never know, and that's part of the fun surprise. And not only that, I think they do a really good job of sending a varying selection of sizes and styles, not all the same types of things. I also brought back those 2-hole beads that I showed you in the beginning of the video because I do want to remind you of that exciting new subscription that is coming to Beads to Live By starting tomorrow, the 18th. I found the quality and all aspects of these subscriptions very consistent so far and would highly recommend them, and always love supporting other women-owned small businesses. So go ahead and check for that link down below and find out all the details about all their different monthly collections that you can sign up for. And check out their bead shop as well, because they do have lots of other great items available for sale on their website outside of a subscription. Well, that's all I have for now. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed checking out December's selections, especially if you're trying to decide which subscriptions are right for you. Hopefully this gave you another chance to see these packages up close and see if they speak to you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I'd love to have you back. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of any of these selections or anything else you'd like to say. And feel free to share the video with your other beading friends. I plan to be back tomorrow with a brand new beading tutorial, so I hope to see you there. And until then, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and as always, happy beading.